Oh, hello everyone! Hi friends, how are you doing? Woo! Welcome to the cosplayer Q&A panel. You might have seen already, we have our lovely cosplay judges here. You're gonna go ahead and give them a round of applause. So, this panel is dedicated to these lovely ladies, and I'm going to be asking them some questions about how they got into cosplay, how long they've been cosplaying, all of that good jazz. So, you guys ready to learn? Yeah! Learn a thing or two. All right. Hi. So, go ahead and introduce yourself and how long you've been cosplaying.
Hi guys, my name is Ottie. I'm also known as MxJellyFish Cosplay. I've been cosplaying, I like to say, for my whole life, but technically my first contest was in 2018, so I like to roll with that.
Hi everyone, my name is Sarah, also known as Pastel Panda Cosplay, and I've been cosplaying since 2013, when I was 14 years old.
My name is Kit, I go by Alias, and I've been cosplaying for about 12 years, give or take.
All right, so everybody has a different reason for cosplaying. Why do you cosplay?
I cosplay because it's my main creative outlet. I love making costumes and wearing them and getting to express myself through fashion.
I love bringing my favorite characters to life and making my costumes occasionally. And I like putting little details in costumes that I really like and for my favorite characters, so yeah.
I am very big into editing, so a lot of why I like cosplaying is because I like taking that photo and editing afterwards. I do like the design and everything of it, but I do like the literal artistic expression. It's fun to throw paint on photos.
All right, so we're going to take it back a little bit. What was your first cosplay? And why did you cosplay? Why did you pick that one to be your first cosplay?
My first ever cosplay was the Phantom of the Opera when I was in 5th grade-ish. I grew up a massive theater kid, which is probably what got me into cosplaying in the first place, just because theatrical costumes are like so elaborate and so beautiful, and that's what I grew up with, which led me to want to have my own personal insight into costume making and elaborate costume wearing.
My first ever cosplay was Mew Ichigo from Tokyo Mew Mew. It was my favorite series in middle school, so I really wanted to, I really wanted to be a magical cat girl, so yeah.
My first cosplay was Hit Girl. I think there are kids in the audience from Kick Butt. It was because I got told I looked like Chloe Grace Moretz all of the time, constantly, and so it was the natural pick.
So, MxJellyFish, I know you kind of touched on it, but what made cosplay your hobby?
So, I've always been obsessed with Halloween growing up. I used to literally plan out what costumes I would wear every year for like multiple years in a row before I knew that cosplaying was a thing that you could do, just because I loved the feeling of dressing up as a character every year, or as a time period, or just dressing up in general. And so when I found out that there was actually a place that you could do that year-round, I just leaped into the community because I loved how it made me feel.
Mine is pretty similar. I love dressing up and like acting like my favorite characters, I guess, like taking pictures and stuff. So I found cosplay originally through YouTube, and I saw people like at conventions with their friends, like acting like their favorite characters, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to do that.
I started cosplaying technically through charity and stuff. When I was a kid, I was in the hospital a lot, and I was visited by people who were dressed up, and so I was like, I'm gonna do that too. And a while into it, I realized that people also just go to conventions and stuff, and like it exists outside of charity stuff. And so I also binged a lot of Sneak Easy Bird. It's like a music video cosplay channel. Went crazy, right?
Cosplays that you have made, what is your favorite cosplay and why?
Okay, so I actually just started sewing literally a year ago, like today, because I started sewing for this convention. However, my favorite cosplay is one that I haven't worn yet and that I'll be debuting tomorrow, which is very exciting.
Is that like a tease that you have to come and like
you guys have to
see
come
her?
tomorrow, please.
Yeah, that's like a total tease. Like you gotta check her out if she's been working on it, so you gotta go see her.
I will tell you guys what it is. I sewed an original design of Princess Anastasia's Once Upon a December dress from the movie. I love Disney princesses. My second favorite cosplay that I've made is Princess Alana, so like calm theme. But yeah, I love sewing and it's super fun and I don't know, I'm very excited.
I love the fan base that's out there. Like, y'all are keeping it up.
My favorite cosplay that I've made is Lucy Hartfilia from Fairy Tail. She is my all-time favorite character, and I love Fairy Tail so much. It's very close to my heart, so yeah.
And don't you have multiple Lucy outfits? How many do you have?
Probably like 10, maybe.
Well, I mean, because Fairy Tail has so many episodes, and cool thing that they have different outfits so that you can totally cosplay all the different ones and connect with the fans and be like, yeah, I remember that season whenever that happened and all that other stuff. That's cool.
Yeah, I want to cosplay all of Lucy's outfits, so eventually.
So mine's pretty obvious. It is Harley Quinn. It is similar to Lucy, actually. Harley's one of those characters that there are like 90 million outfits you can choose from. So my favorite part of doing her is that I can literally just throw on one piece from every aspect of a different costume, and it's like, this is probably an actual design that exists already. But I have a suit that I hand sewed that is out of like very shiny material, and I did the hammer and everything, the classic Harley Quinn I put a lot of time into, and I love being goofy, so it makes it my favorite by default.
So how many different outfits is that? Too many for both hands?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Too many for hands and toes to count. All right. So do you prefer to cosplay alone or with others? And that's like planning it all out and getting together, maybe making it, and then going to a con together and wearing it for like an all-day affair and doing the photo shoots and all that jazz.
That's such a good question, Lindsay. I am 50-50. At this past convention, Anime Corpus Christi, me and Kit had a whole day that we dressed up as the Demon Slayer siblings together, which was really fun. Today I'm dressing up with my boyfriend, which is really fun. I will say, when it comes to, that was probably my boyfriend just now. When it comes to sewing stuff, I definitely need to work by myself because it's a crazed process. Like, nobody should be around me when they're like witnessing me actually crafting just because I get into it. But I really do love dressing up with friends and family. I think it's super fun.
For me, it's probably 50-50 too. I used to love doing giant group cosplays with all my friends, but over the years, I think I prefer to cosplay just like either by myself or with like one other person. just because it's kind of easier to coordinate and get everyone's outfits like together, I guess. And as for sewing, I agree. I want to just be left alone in that process. Sometimes my husband helps me make like props and stuff, but that's about it, I guess. So, yeah.
For me, I am a very big dreamer, and so the second that I get an idea of a cosplay, I harass my friends who wore Marvel today because I forced them to. I harass them with like, okay, we gotta do this, and this is the characters, and this is which one you're gonna do. I get very excited for group cosplays. I love it. I think it's a great idea. I love it so much. It makes it so fun. Doing Demon Slayer was so much fun. I literally watched the whole show just to cosplay with Ottie. I was like, I have a purpose. But for like making cosplays and like doing the actual like grit of it, tomorrow I'm doing Laguna from Monster High, who's a fish lady. I love showing up in blue on Saturday. I don't know why. My boyfriend made the prosthetic ears for that, and we kind of bounce back and forth with each other on like makeup and stuff like that. But for like you guys said, the actual bare grits of making stuff, I was setting up my booth last night, kind of relevant, and like I had both my boyfriend and my friend helping me set up, and they would move one thing and I'd be like, let me do that. So it's like a 75, but at the same time, sometimes I'm like, this needs to be me.
So, we all, even if you don't know, you may learn or find out soon, cosplay can get expensive. So, what is your most expensive cosplay project? And that was the look of trying to figure out numbers in your head.
So because I tend to sew a lot of ball gowns, that is a lot of fabric, and fabric is super duper expensive. So when it comes to cosplays that I've made myself, honestly, Anastasia is pretty expensive because all of that satin is expensive and like a bunch of trim and stuff. I cosplayed the Mandalorian when I was like in middle school. That was expensive. Even though I made half of it, just getting the materials to make it was so expensive. Cosplay is just expensive. Yeah.
My most expensive cosplay is probably my Ninetales. I did a Lola Ninetales from Pokemon, and I made like all the tails and stuff. That was very expensive to get all the faux fur for, and all the, like, to make the skeleton of the tails, I guess, was a lot.
What did you make the skeleton out of? Was it like the foam, like the high density foam? Was it like wire? Like, what did you
It
make the
was
skeleton?
PVC pipes. So it was a wood base with PVC pipes for all the, like, shaped into the tail shapes, and then we like slid the tail skins on top. Yeah. But that was a lot. So yeah.
I have two answers. I think I answered something similar to last year, but if I didn't say this one is the one that's going. I've done both Hit Girl, a different Hit Girl, and Wonder Woman, and they were both around 600 to 800 like max. They were like, the first one was for Make-A-Wish, and it was Hit Girl, and it was like, I got the replica jacket, it was $200, and then I got a fabric that was the right shade to match the pants, that was also like ridiculously expensive, and like got the haircut at a salon. But for the Wonder Woman costume, I was given the amount of money, and they were kind of like, do it. And so I was given that like amount, and I ended up cheaper just because I love thrifting and not buying new things. So like I had Supergirl boots. I'm calling you out. I had Supergirl. Yeah, whip them out. Let's get a presentation. I got very similar boots, and instead of using them for Supergirl, I butchered them into Wonder Woman because I didn't want to look for the right material, and I was not going to sew those boots. So also Harley Quinn. Probably put way too much money into that one.
Whoops.
Don't forget the wigs.
Don't forget the wigs, yes.
Wigs are expensive.
Well, everything is expensive now. So, that leads me into my next question. Since everything is so expensive, what is your least expensive cosplay project, and what do you suggest for people out there who might want to go into cosplay, who don't want to necessarily spend an entire budget on, you know, something that they haven't fully experienced yet, and they don't know if they want to, you know, go all in?
So I would definitely agree with what Kid said about thrifting items. That's what I do. These shoes are thrifted. There's tape on them. This one's broken, but they're thrifted and they're working. So I also heavily believe in like cosplay doesn't have to be by the book. So one, it doesn't always have to be canon accurate because that can be more expensive. You can just have fun with it. And one of the bodices of the dresses I'm using, or I made, the interior lining of the fabric is made out of scuba, which is like never something that you're gonna see, but I was just recycling materials that I already had. So also focusing on using what you have instead of going out of your way to buy more stuff when you don't have to is a big thing. Cheapest cosplay? I did, when I had short hair, an Anakin Skywalker cosplay that I would put on like whenever I was bored in quarantine, and I just had a pair of pants that I would like put over my shoulders and put a belt over the pants, and that was it. And it was cool. I loved it.
You're cool!
It was free.
For me, cheapest cosplay, probably my Maka from Soul Eater. I thrifted the shirt and like her sweater vest and the tie. And I bought like a really cheap wig on Amazon and I made it work. Well, actually, I think when I originally did it, I just used my real hair, so there's that too.
That's free.
Yeah, exactly, free. So I'd say if you're like trying to get into cosplay but you don't want to spend a bunch of money, try to think of characters that have pretty like simple designs that you can just buy stuff and you don't have to necessarily like make something from scratch, I guess.
For my least expensive costume, I think it is this one. There's nothing on this costume that I had to buy. I don't think, these are my friend's boots because I was in other boots and I was dying, so don't count the boots. I didn't buy them either. My friend made this cat suit for Catwoman like 2 years ago, and then they were like, I'm not gonna cosplay anymore, take it. This is multi-purpose. I could like change the wig and I'm Black Widow. I could change the wig and I'm Black Cat. It's very multi-purpose. All this is stuff that I've had over the years, and the wig was a wig that I originally got from that Wonder Woman, and then I cut the lace of the wig off for my Nezuko wig, and then I had this little like cut up crap sitting in the corner for like months, and I was like, I could do Domino. And so I didn't even answer the second half, I'm so sorry. Thrift. Like I said, multi-purpose. Yeah, I got excited to answer that one, I'm not gonna lie. She's like, I'm gonna show off. Yeah, so items are multi-purpose. Like these gloves were Daredevil, and then I was like, I'm not gonna do Daredevil, so I cut the fingers off and painted the red parts. You could get like staple items, and they could be reused for other things constantly, especially wigs. Especially wigs. Check your closet! Raid that closet. Raid your friend's closet. Be like, do you need this? Don't do that. Ask them first. Everybody's closet.
Or
somebody's gotta have something in there.
Or come November 1st, go to your Spirit Halloween store, and what I do is I'm like, okay, everything's 50% off. Let me get the white short gloves, because there might be a cosplay that comes up that I might need some little short white gloves, or let me get the, you know, things that I could possibly use. Like I have a doctor's coat that maybe I can, I don't know, it's just sitting in my cosplay closet. But
I would like to extend on that thought, because that's really true. There is also a thing that are Amazon bin stores, and every day it's $1 cheaper, and it's just bins of crap. It's awesome. There's so much stuff. I found a Daredevil helmet. I found so many wigs. Wash whatever you get, just because it's in a pile of other stuff. But you can get some literal My friend gave me a Genshin Impact cosplay that was $3 because it was there. I don't know anything. I've dedicated myself to it, but very handy.
all right, so there's usually a process of putting on and taking off a cosplay. What is your favorite part of putting on or taking off a cosplay? Like, at the end of the day, taking off a wig? Oh God, that is so rewarding. Like, what is your favorite part?
I say taking off my wig and taking off my lashes.
We just both said the same thing to ourselves.
The wig.
Wigs can be uncomfortable after a while, but you're like so in the moment while you're cosplaying that having so much fun that you don't even realize like how bad your head is hurting, which is fine, it's worth it. Taking off your shoes if you've been wearing heels all day. My favorite part of putting on my cosplay is after I'm done with all the difficult parts of my makeup, getting to put my wig on after I have all my clothes on and seeing it like finally come to life and be like, oh wow, that was kind of worth it.
Yeah, you're like, you look in the mirror and you're like, dang,
Hey.
who's that? Ooh, that's a good looking cosplayer right there.
I guess for me, also taking off my wig, for sure. It literally feels so good, and then like you like massage your scalp after. It's so good.
I'm gonna do that in like 2 seconds. I'm gonna be out there.
Yeah.
Taking off the wig. Take off the wig. For me, contacts. I'm half blind right now, which I don't mind. Last year I was both blind. Not a good idea. Taking off the contacts can be such a sweet relief. You won't even realize how miserable you are, and then you take them off, and you don't look mad anymore. It's amazing.
Oh, no, you're fine. I also would like to say taking off your fake eyelashes is a relief.
Taking the caterpillars all off. So, since we said how much we enjoy taking the wigs off at the end of the day, do you prefer wigs or no wigs? And do you prefer to style your wigs, commission a style, or buy them pre-styled?
So, I definitely prefer wearing wigs in cosplay. I feel like it just can make or break a look. I also enjoy the creative liberty you can have with wigs, because like, I don't know how many iterations of Zatanna has short curly hair, but I have short curly hair, so I think it's fun to like insert myself into most characters like that. I really dislike styling wigs because I don't like having the feeling it 24/7. My mom actually styled this wig for me. I don't know if she's here or not, but shout out. And this was the first wig she's ever styled. It was like very cool to watch her work for like the 2 hours that it took her. And then other than that, I really love paying my friends to style wigs for me because there's so many like super talented wig stylers out there, and I will stick to my sewing machine.
I prefer wigs for sure. With like all cosplays, my real hair is really thin, and I don't think it looks that good in a lot of like with a costume. Because I feel like when you're wearing a costume, you're like everything is a little elevated, and you need to kind of be more. I don't know how to say this, but like everything's a little extra. So I feel like a wig really adds to that. Like it's like wearing fake eyelashes to me, I guess. And I prefer styling my own wigs. I'm not that good at wig styling, but I like when I'm proud of a wig that I styled because it's not my strong suit when it comes to cosplay. So.
I have gone through the perils of trying to characters. Don't do that to yourself. I mean, do if you want, but like I don't recommend it. I agree. I think when you're, I mean, to each their own. And wigs, like we all just said, our favorite thing is taking the wigs off. They're not that important, but at the same time, when you do have everything else going on at a 10, it's really fun to have something else that's like bright and popping. I like point here. It's always nice to have that next step. Like fake lashes too. It kind of just brings the whole character out a lot more. So I like styling my wigs. I'm not talented. There are a lot of people who style wigs. We have a friend named Freya who's amazing. Yeah, get that kid. So I do it myself just because I like to be very hands-on, and like I said, I'm finicky. I'll like complain if one pen is too away on my boot. So like, I want to touch it, so I don't feel bad if I don't like the end product. But I do recommend reaching out to people who style wigs, or try it yourself. It's fun.
And I kind of have a story like what Alias said. So whenever I started cosplaying way back when, in 2006, and I met my husband who is here, I saw him come in, but he decided he wanted to use his actual hair. And he has very dark brown hair. So he would bleach his hair once, twice, maybe 3 times to be able to get it the right blonde color, and then dye it red. And then, you know, you have an adulting job on Monday, and you gotta go back home after a con and re-dye your hair. Or what he did was shave his hair off. And so, you know, that takes much longer than ripping the wig off of your head. And as much as it is satisfying to take like a really heavy, ornate wig off of your head, it's just easier to be like, okay, I need to rush somewhere, let me just put my hair up in a wig cap and let me throw a wig on, and I don't have to worry about styling it, or if it's gonna cockeye, or you slept wrong, or something like that. So there's much love to the wigs, but there's also a common hate at the end of the day for wigs.
Yeah.
So what is your process of creating your cosplay, and how long does it take?
So the longest process for me is actually like the dreaming process. I get ideas for things, and then I will ruminate on them for weeks, and then I'll reach out to one of my artist friends to like sketch out something for me, because I'm a very visual person. And then after that, then I'll go hunting for materials, and then I'll wait till like the week of to start sewing, because I procrastinate my projects a lot. But yeah, the longest process, and I feel like the most enjoyable process, other than actually seeing it come to fruition, is like the scheming and planning part. It's super fun to like get super stoked about an idea that I haven't even like put any effort into yet, and wondering how it's going to turn out, and then of course seeing how it does turn out. And normally I have successfully met or exceeded my expectations for everything thus far, including the one that I'm wearing tomorrow. So.
My creative process is, it depends what it is, but usually if it's an already existing character with like an existing design that I'm gonna like make, I usually sketch it out, like the clothing pieces, so that I can visualize how it's gonna translate onto fabric. And I also make all my own patterns, so it helps me visualize with that too. So I sketch it out and then make the patterns, and that probably is like the longest, takes the longest. And then I actually like cut the fabric and sew, and my favorite part of all of it is just seeing the before and after, and like the final product. It's so like rewarding once you finish a project that you've been working on for like weeks.
They are very eloquent people. I throw things together and go, that could be something. Like, I mean, for example, I only have domino, or I know to do domino because last year, my friend, who's always Deadpool, had a birthday party, and I was like, you know who goes with Deadpool? I'm gonna show up as Domino. And so I pulled all this together. For my creative process itself, it is kind of just, I let the ideas stick around until I see something that I can easily turn into it, or I see something that triggers me to start working on. Last year when we were driving around here, I was thinking to myself, like, there's a lot of like cute touristy, like fishy stuff. It'd be cool to do a fishy character, and I love Monster High, and so I'd say for a year I've been thinking of doing Laguna, but like 3 or 4 months ago, I was like, I'm gonna go to the beach and I'm gonna get seashells, and I used all the seashells for the costume. It was like kind of like the, now I'm gonna do it, so I let it come to me, and then I crap the rest together.
So, are there any unspoken rules in the cosplay community, like maybe somebody doesn't know what sandbagging is? I know I've had to explain what sandbagging is.
This is a hot topic to bring it on, girl.
Yeah.
This is hot.
That is actually a great topic to pull up. We have, the three of us, because we've been judging together at this convention for so long, have encountered sandbagging and have kind of set up a self-imposed policy to stop that. Sandbagging is when you compete in a competition with a cosplay that you've made that's already won another award at a major convention, and then you go to smaller conventions to try to win other awards, which is big unspoken no-no because it takes the opportunity away from local cosplayers who aren't able to travel these big conventions, which is why we are very much against it, because we like giving everybody a fair shot at winning something because they all deserve to be recognized for that. Sandbagging was a great example. I can't think of anything else. I mean, this is a spoken rule now that's getting more recognition as the years are going on, but don't touch cosplayers without asking. If you want a photo with them, we'd love to take a photo with you. Just ask first. Ask consent for everything.
Yeah, because they might be eating and you don't want to take a I don't want to see a picture of me shoving food in my face whenever I'm at a convention. Yeah, just sandbagging, asking for pictures before you take it. Yes?
I am so excited to be controversial. Okay, so one of the big things for me, and I do Harley Quinn, so it's very specific, you are not the character, it is character that exists, you're not the character. Getting mad that other people do the same character, or acting like somebody stole the design of yours when it's a design of the character that exists. It's just, like, it's costumes, we're wearing costumes, we're having fun with costumes, and if somebody else has the same costume, all the power to them. That should be something that you're like, we have something in common. So I had to get that out. I had to get that out.
Use it like something to bring people together. Don't let it get you further away from making friends or having someone that has a similar interest as you, I guess. We shouldn't be going against each other, being pitted against each other. We should be supporting each other, and you know, if you see someone that's saying wearing a Supergirl outfit, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, mine's better. I'm going to be like, that's so cool, we're twinsies! Oh my gosh, let's take a picture. Yes!
Exactly!
Yes, so, yeah. What have you gained from cosplaying?
Oh gosh, I've gained a whole lot from cosplaying. I like wrote a whole thesis about it last semester, just because I've gotten like the opportunity to like do cosplay in this like degree and like work semi-professionally and talk in front of people. So outside of like the actual like creative skills, like sewing and stuff that I've gained, I've also gotten really great people skills. I've made a whole bunch of really awesome friends. I literally love these girls and this girl. I love these women. The group of friends that I've made has been awesome. You too, Annie. The communication skills that I've gotten have been awesome. Even like my interpersonal communication skills, like talking in a professional setting with like conventions, trying to set up bookings and everything. It's really helped me mature into like an adult identity because I've grown up with cosplay in a sense. Like I've been doing this since I was small, and now I'm not so small anymore, and I think it's cool.
She was just so amazed by the answer. She's like, oh my gosh, what was the question?
What I've gained from cosplay?
Like now?
So much. Like, basically everything Ottie just said. Like, if it wasn't for cosplay, a major one, besides all the creative skills that I've gained, and like, I wouldn't have learned how to sew if it wasn't for cosplay. But besides that, I wouldn't have started Twitch streaming if it wasn't for cosplay, and that has literally helped me like break out of my shell like so much, because I'm pretty like reserved as a person, and it's helped me be able to just like talk a little easier to people, and I guess to a crowd, I don't know, so yeah.
I mean, very general consensus. It's very much, I mean, same thing for me. Cosplay has brought me all of my friends that I consider family, my love. It's brought me everything. It has brought me passion. It's brought me a creative outlet. It's brought me really, really painful feet. That's not positive. That doesn't count. But yeah, I mean, we're only talking about the positive. We're not bringing up the fees. So, yeah, for me, it's a very similar answer. It seems like such a niche, small community, and then you get into it and you realize how much there is to offer. It's very, very, very fun.
As for me, if there's anyone who's like single that I meet, I'm like, have you ever been to a con? Because that's how I met my husband. And yeah, like we went to, you too? Yes! That's where you find the good ones. Yeah, you go to a con, you're like, hey, what's up, Itachi? And back then I didn't watch Naruto, so I was like, okay, that's Itachi, whatever. And I was Sailor Jupiter doing like dances up on stage, but yeah, now we're married. Look at us now. Are there any negative aspects to cosplaying? Now you can talk about your feet.
Hey dude, my feet were hurting so bad, guys, and listen, I brought these shoes, cute shoes. They look like little Barbie doll feet, and that was coined to me, that it was Barbie doll shoes. So cute. We did the Marvel meetup, cosplay meetup, by the way, there's meetups throughout the weekend, very cool, check it out on the site. I had to walk outside, down the stairs, and go down the side, and then go up, and then go onto the grass, and these are like very small heels, so I was like my ankles were rolling a lot, and like people were like walking by.
All over God's green earth just to get to the photo.
I put in the effort. Yeah, I was twisting and turning, and every single person that would walk next to me would be like, "You need help?" And I'd be like, "I'm independent." And then I needed help all the way back. I ended up walking on my, yeah, don't need help. At the cosplay booths earlier, like half the time that people saw me, I was like scooting around in my socks because I was just like, I'm not doing this anymore. These are my friends' boots. So glad we're the same shoe size, and these are actually, despite the physical appearance, much more comfortable than I was. So I don't even have a different answer. It's literally just shoe stuff. Continue on.
Honestly, just like discomfort. General discomfort, like the material that this is made out of is like really hot and like sticky, and I can't wait to like peel it off.
You made us
later.
all be like, we can't wait to take this off.
Yeah, and wig headaches in general.
Seconded. I'd also like to say that with a community as vast and as great as the cosplay community is, it's inevitable that there are going to be some bad social experiences, but at the end of the day, it's phenomenally outweighed by how awesome the people are and the amazing experiences that you will have. But yeah, wigs hurt, shoes hurt, and everything hurts all the time, and I'm so cold right now.
Oh,
I'll be okay.
I've got a jacket!
I'll be okay.
She got a tapestry. So do you have any advice for future cosplayers?
Okay, have I mentioned there are these things called shoe inserts? No, I'm kidding. For me, I would say that, I mean, especially in the last few years, social media is a thing. Cosplay is very fast-paced. It's very, this shows out, have this cosplay. This shows out, have this cosplay. If you're not keeping up with the trends, you're not recording the certain TikTok song, if you're not on beat, you feel like you're off beat. And you feel like you're not doing it right or whatever. Which is wrong, it's fun. The whole aspect, the whole thing of it is just have fun. So if you are starting and you don't feel like you're keeping up with the level of everybody else, you have any idea, there are very different levels to cosplay. That's the best thing about it. You could do a little, you could do a lot, it doesn't matter, it's a hobby. So do it at your pace and don't be stressed about it.
On a similar note, I would say don't be too stressed about how you look. Everyone's just trying to have fun and wants to have fun together, so literally don't be stressed about how you look. And if your cosplay isn't perfect, or if it's not as perfect as this one person online, like don't look at social media and don't compare yourself. That is probably the worst thing you can do when it comes to cosplay, so yeah.
I definitely second that trying to compare yourself to everybody around you is going to be the death of your enjoyment of cosplay, because cosplay at the end of the day is an art form, and so everybody is going to have to practice how they're going to express themselves through that before they find what they're comfortable with and what they feel confident in. And then obviously social media is a lot of fun, but I feel like people forget to prioritize their own personal fun outside of social media, because filming TikToks with your friends is super fun, but feeling the need to film TikToks and not getting to enjoy a convention to its capacity will, I feel like, also drain you over time. And I feel like at the end of the day, we should, in a sense, return to like early 2000s convention scene where people are like with their disposable camera, that's it. And just be there for the memories, for the wonderful people.
You speak of the days, but I was there. I lived
You were
those
there
days.
when it was written.
Yaoi paddles and Yuri paddles and glomping and Pocky. And
Okay, early 2000s scene minus the Yuri and Yaoi pedals then. And the glove, minus them. Lindsay, please.
I'll let you go with it. So does anyone out in the audience have maybe a question that you would like to ask these cosplayers? Yes, you can go ahead and come up to this microphone here. I don't know, maybe, yeah, the microphone's good.
Mrs. Panda, you said that you dressed as a Lola Ninetales. The materials you made are really heavy. Did you have to take it off like constantly, or did you just suffer?
Yeah, the tails were probably like 10 pounds. So I was constantly, the first time I ever wore it to a convention, I competed in a cosplay competition. So I was just sitting down until I had to go on the stage. And yeah, they were like held together with like a safety belt type of situation. So I was just like taking them off and setting them down like constantly. So yeah.
Were they like really big, or were they?
They were like, I wanted them to be like in a fan formation, like all around me. So that is the kind of shape that I went with. And so I had to balance them when I walked because they were that big. But yeah, they were huge.
Sounds scary. Thank you.
Hello. Hello, Mr. Worldwide.
It's Mr. Robot People!
I saw people in concert. You did a very good show.
Thank you. But out of character, would you like, what kind of advice would you give to people who are like wanting to like sew and make props? Because I struggle while sewing one of my cosplays, and I plan on sewing more. So what general advice, like what would you give to them who want to like learn how to sew and stuff?
Practice makes perfect, and I mean it when I say that, because I've had my sewing machine since 2021, and I feel like only a year ago where I actually was able to start making like functioning clothes that I could wear and like they wouldn't like not be wearable, which is probably a learning curve because I was self-taught, but there's so many wonderful resources online. YouTube has like an abundance of tutorials and people that will like lay out step by step just how to like operate your sewing machine and then like how to like do like the simplest things, and I feel like, yeah, practice does make perfect.
Or I take like a small project, like if you want to make a little small zippered bag, they have a video online that will tell you how to make this small zippered bag, and it's straight lines, and then you can kind of figure out how to sew in a zipper, how to sew in an inside part, and then, you know, turn it out and then grow from there. So I'd say like a small project, that way you're not spending a lot on materials, and go on from there. Maybe like make a pet costume or bandana, I don't know, like things like that you could use.
I want to interject YouTube for props. For props. I mean, I'm sure for other things, but for me, for props, YouTube is your best friend. YouTube is your love. There are people who have been cosplaying or even just doing some niche that's almost kind of cosplay for like years. And if you give them the amount of that video, they will tell you how they did it. And so there's a lot of information out there, and it's very fun to gather it.
Thank you.
Goodbye, Mr. Worldwide.
Hand it over.
No, you have to lay it out for the audience first. You gotta, yeah.
All right, so I've been notified we have like 10 minutes left, so we're gonna go ahead and do a lightning round of questions. We're gonna end with Mr. Constantine back there. You are the caboose.
Lightning round, okay. So would you guys explain cosplay for parents?
For parents?
Lightning
Okay.
round, man. That's a big loaded question.
It is the art of dressing up, and it can be in a character sense, it can be in a, they want to go to the Renaissance fair sense. I would just say at the end of the day, it's Halloween all year.
I have the answer, I have the answer. Cosplay is a combination of costume play. It is derived.
That was the right way to say it. Yeah, that was the exact definition.
So, costume play. Whenever you dress up, you can act as that character, so on and so forth. Yay! Next question!
Alright, so pretty much all of you talked about like putting stuff together from thrift stores and like putting pieces together from different versions. I'm curious, are there any like particular cosplays that each of you have that is like maybe not accurate at all, but you think it's fun because you had fun and you were creative with it and you put it together through your own ingenuity and whatnot?
For Laguna tomorrow, I had one idea for the outfit, and I ran to the thrift store, and I just got a random outfit. And I like thought about it, and I was like, I kind of hate that. And then I went to another thrift store, and I saw a kid's mermaid costume with a fish scale tail. I cut the fish scale tail off, and it is my dress tomorrow. That is it.
You must see Alias tomorrow to be able to see the fish.
Come to the
scale
fish.
tail.
I will give you seashells. This is like, I have a lot of seashells. I'm like banking on the seashells.
Is there any makeup brands you would recommend to starting out cosplayers?
Elf!
Yeah. Okay, lightning round. Miron!
I know you already mentioned thrift stores, but for cosplays that have formal wear, such as suits, what are some tips on getting those on like a budget?
Amazon.
Yeah, before Amazon sold things other than books, I would have to go around to like stores and look, like Walmart or Target, or Payless whenever that was around, because I like to try on things to make sure that they fit the way that I want or that they're comfortable. I would suggest going to department stores like that, maybe JCPenney or something like that, if you want to look for a suit or any shoes or any component of a cosplay to put together.
For dress stuff too, not necessarily for costume, but like shirt and tie and stuff. I mean, never underestimate Walmart. It's there, it's got the basics.
That's where I got this from.
So you know what's up, okay.
you have any like funny interactions from being cosplay, like not at the con, like at the store or something on the way to the con?
Okay, I have no idea how this happened, but somebody recognized me out of cosplay with like no makeup on at HEB a few months ago, and I was like, this is not how I like went. No, I don't exist here. Please don't. It was really sweet though, but weird. It was so off-putting to me. I was like, it was weird.
Okay, I have two questions. First, a real question. When you guys hit any serious road bumps or snags in the process of making a costume, what is some advice you can give to a way you can positively work around that without like falling apart?
Like wait, like don't. Sometimes I've like just powered through it and it doesn't turn out how I want to. So if you hit a road bump, just stop what you're doing. Don't mess up your expensive fabric and just take like a few hours, take a minute, take a day and think about it and then you can proceed. That is my biggest advice.
Seconded.
I just second you. Yeah, that was good.
Also, MxJellyFish, you want to go on a date with me?
That's my boyfriend, guys.
See? Like, cons are a good place for singles, I'm just saying. Like, you can go and spend time with each other. So, I'm getting cut it off. We gotta get ready. So, thank you to all three lovely cosplayers. Again, they are MxJellyFish, Pastel Panda, and Alias.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Thank you. Again, my name is Lindsay, also known as Sun. I will be hosting the cosplay contest for adults on Saturday. That's at 6 o'clock in this room. And then Sunday, it's the kids cosplay contest in this room at 4 o'clock. So come see these lovely ladies in their totally awesome outfits tomorrow and Sunday, or you can go visit them at their tables downstairs in the little lobby area. Thank you guys!